What's up, everybody?
My name is Anthony Irvin.
You beat yourself?
Yeah,
Yeah, CB myself.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm Jim Green.
Don't even need a hit of traffic light.
Okay, good.
Welcome to
One set.
Dude, I've been getting this annoying itching feeling under my armpits from the deodorants I've been trying and using, and I can't seem to find something that works for me.
Have you ever tried maybe like a natural deodorant?
Natural deodorant? No. Are you insane?
No. But I am Wild.
Oh,
Wild is the UK's #1 natural deodorant company that focuses on performance, sustainability, and style.
Their mission is to clean up the bathrooms by leaving it free of ugly, single-use plastic bottles and unnecessary chemicals.
You know why Wild is great? Because it actually works and it's eco-friendly and contains over 98.5% natural ingredients.
They have a fully sustainable design with aluminum cases that last for a lifetime, plus biodegradable, recyclable refills. And you know what's cool? They can actually imprint your name on these aluminum cases for a small additional fee.
Wild is super convenient with flexible subscription options or paying as one-off purchases. And you can customize your order by choosing your case, color, and various scent combinations. I know I have the Ocean Mist, the fresh cotton and sea salt, and the orange and neroli flavors, and they all smell super great. And what's best about them is they don't just wear off immediately, and then all of a sudden you smell like BO.
Yeah, I've been rocking the sandalwood and patchouli scent right now. And again, great scent, lasts like throughout the day, that you're pretty much protected throughout the day. And I also was able to try the mint and aloe vera. Big aloe vera fan, right on point, long lasting, and you can look forward to these cases and scents in a limited edition every month.
Go Wild today with a special discount of 25% off your first order when you get the code OneSetPod at checkout. Go to wearewild.com and use the code OneSetPod at checkout and enjoy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another brand new episode of the One Set Podcast. As you see, my co-host, best friend, Jim Green, is not with us this week. He is feeling sick. He can't record this week. So, Jim, we hope you're feeling better, and you guys will definitely be able to get to see him again next week. But I was able to link up with one of my good musician friends from the Delco area, and he was kind enough to join me this week. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you John Taylor Jr.
Crowd goes wild. Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for having me. This is really cool. I hopefully we do better than the first round on Table Talk. It doesn't cut out on us, but
Yeah, right. I mean, we'll hope that the connections kind of stay a little bit easy for us, because I'll tell our audience, I had you on my older podcast, Table Talk, and we were having a great conversation, and it was probably like 30 minutes in, everything just shut off, and we just had a bad connection, and we couldn't get back into the rhythm, and so
I actually remember it was right when we started doing the musical performance of the podcast. I remember I played Take Care Cassidy too, and then I was going to play one of my other songs, which is With You I'm Growing, which is one that I wrote about my family. And I remember I was getting into it, and then everything went haywire. I was like, oh man, that was like the whole build up to that podcast. But hey, I'm here now. It's all good, right?
Yeah, so we'll say this is like the redemption or the rebirth of the the episode that never actually got to take off. So I'm glad to have you with me tonight. And for those who do not know John, I know this is a little bit different audience than the Table Talk audience, but he is one of 2 or 3 people who began the phenomenal Facebook page, well, we know in the Delco area, and even can we even say like the U.S. and even outside the U.S. now, the Delco Quarantine Open Mic Facebook page that started back in the quarantine of 2020, where musicians kind of got taken down with their shows. We didn't know what to do. And John and a couple buddies just started saying, let's just have an open mic that's virtual. And it just sprung off and took off. And it was an amazing thing that was happening at that time, man.
Yeah, I'll definitely piggyback off of that. It was very cool. I remember the day. It was March 16th, 2020. I came home because like everybody, like the world was in panic. Like I got let off of work. They were like, all right, everybody just take a few days. We'll just figure out what's going on. So I come home, all the cancellations start coming in. Like my gigs start getting canceled. Everybody's gigs start getting canceled. I'm sitting at my house just like, what is going on here? And I make a subtle Facebook post. I'm like, I make a Facebook post, saying, "Oh, all my gigs are getting canceled. I'm very depressed." Like, the signature thing that a lot of people were saying. And my friend Zach Chapp, he commented on it. He said, "Why don't you start a virtual thing?" And I was like, "Dude, I can't." I remember exactly what I said. I said, "Dude, I can barely manage like 10 to 12 people at a real open mic. How could I manage like thousands of people?" And I said it as a joke. I think I was a little like. A little abrasive of how I said that, and then
it's intimidating to think that.
Yeah. The idea wasn't really there yet, but then I sat back and started talking to Tara about it, my fiance, and she was really the driving force behind that. It's more or less like I kind of created it, but she was definitely the voice behind like what it was going to be like me and her, like Zach really like, I guess kind of like put the idea out there a little bit. Like, and I didn't really think it would, I was like, I don't know. And it's kind of funny because a year before I actually started a Delco open mic page, but that was so people could post where open mics were in the area. It wasn't even for like a live stream. And like a year or two after Delco was like already like taken off and we like got all the publicity that we had, I actually posted that. I was like, this was what I thought Delco could have been, but I didn't even know what we were kind of building at that point. So yeah, like pretty much, when we created it, it was March 16th, and literally the day, like a day or two after, we started really like thinking, we came up with the name. Me and Tara came up with the name, and then we launched it, and then like no one knew what to do with it. Like first it was like almost just like pre-record a set or a song and post it. And then Chris Grunswald was like, "Hey, do you mind if I play live?" And dude, once he said that, fireworks, light bulbs, like I started getting chills. Like, I was like, dude, this like me and Tara were like, this is gonna be insane. Like we saw it right away, and then we did it, and then we started putting lists out. And I think I have PTSD in a good way from those days, like the early days, because like I remember Tara on like multiple screens, like because you remember like we would put the lists out like every day at like 1 p.m. or noon, and dude, it was like 30 seconds in, you'd have 50 people on there. Like it was very aggressive for us to like manage all that. So like she would be, it was fun. It was like organized chaos. We very much enjoyed it. And like, so when they'd come in, like she'd be like funneling in, or I'd be like funneling in who was coming in, and she'd like be putting their names in. It was definitely like a group effort at that point. Cause at that point, no one was like, it was like literally our full-time job. Like there was days that I was like, Tara, we just worked 12 hours on a Delco Quarantine Open Mic, and I'm exhausted. Like,
I say, like, dude, it was like if you got there 5 minutes after, you couldn't get a spot.
Yeah.
It
absolutely.
Up, like within 5 to 10 minutes, like you had to be on your phone or on the computer at
Yeah.
1 o'clock on the dot, and you were refreshing the page and making
Yep.
sure. And it was, I can only imagine on your end, but from my end, it was just like, okay, I
Yeah.
got to make sure that I get on this thing at 1 o'clock, because like 5 minutes later, everything's filled up, and you have to wait
Yep.
2 days.
Yeah, there's, I really enjoy, like, the biggest part, like, that I enjoyed was, like, man, the messages. I wish I probably still have a lot of them, but, like, my messenger was getting blown up with, like, thank yous and, like,
Yeah.
appreciation, like, this saved me, and, like, I was reading all these messages, and that's what was really, like, heartwarming for, like, me and Tara, was, like, we were doing something super special, but, like, it was, like, touching people, like you said, like we were all over kind of the world. We had people in Mexico. We had people in Germany. We had people, because when you have a group like that and you have the admin kind of control, you can actually see where everybody's coming from. And there was one point that there was, like, we were in, like, 3 or 4, a few different countries, and it was
That's
insane.
nuts.
So, like, today, as of today, like, I think we're just north of, like, 16,000 people, but, like, the first week it was, like, 2 days 1,000 people,
Yeah.
4 days 2,000 people, and then it just kept going, and then Dan Sheridan, I think that's his name. He works for 6 ABC. He's very good friends with Paul Shebb. Paul Shebb's a local guy from Springfield. He plays music in the bar and live music scene. And Paul Shebb told Dan about it. He works at ABC, like I said. So he hits me up and he's like, yo, I want to come to your living room and do an interview. So he sets up all his lights. Like, me and Tara, like, we had a roommate. This is actually, like, the pandemic sparked this, and this is how Luna kind of came about, was the pandemic. So
Yeah.
so this was definitely before kids. So we had a roommate, our roommate Melissa, and her and her boyfriend Mark walked in on us when we were getting interviewed, and they were just like, what the heck's going on? And they knew like the magnitude of what we were doing and what was happening, and it was cool for them to be a part of that as well. But yeah, man, it those first few weeks, there was so much magic. Like, I've been a part of cool things. Like, I've written songs and I've collaborated with people musically, and, like, I've been part of teams, and, like, there's a certain special magic of chemistry when you're coaching a football team, or you're on a team, and, like, you've worked all year, and then finally you hit your stride, and, like, that's, like, that magic moment. Or when you write a song, and, like, or you've been writing and writing, and then you hit that one, like, chorus that is just like, all right, that's a really cool song. And, like, those light bulb moments, and, like, that magic. Yeah, that magic. And, like, there was a good few weeks where, like, our brains were working so hard. It was like, I didn't want to sleep because I thought I was going to miss an opportunity to make this thing, like, bigger and better, because I knew we had a small window of opportunity. Like, we didn't know if the pandemic, how long it was going to last. We didn't know, what was really going to happen. So,
Have you ever wanted to start your podcast but didn't know where to start? The One Set Bros are here to talk to you about Zencastr. Zencastr is the ultimate base podcasting solution, and now the all-in-one podcasting platform, making podcasting easy. They've sure made it easy for us to be able to record our podcast and our episodes every week for you guys. Once you've set up your account, you're simply one click away from recording a high-quality podcast with studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. My personal favorite feature is their multi-layered backups, which ensure our recordings are always in the highest quality, even during unstable web connections. And if you thought you needed multiple tools and services for your podcast, Zencastr's all-in-one podcasting platform allows you to create your podcast all in one place and distribute to Spotify, Apple, and other major destinations. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code OneSetPod, and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experiences we do with all our podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. when you're talking about hydration is not only for people training for championships and marathons. We're talking about daily maintenance people. Jim, did you know that 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated?
I believe it, Anth. I mean, honestly, in my line of work, dealing with teaching children and also dancing with adults my age, younger and older, I can almost tell based off of how well people not just perform athletically, but how we carry ourselves and how we communicate back and forth, our facial gestures and just our energy alone. I can tell when somebody's sluggish and they're sleep deprived versus they're just sluggish because they're a dried up sponge because they are dehydrated, right?
Absolutely. And for people like me who are working the 9 to 5, and, for me gigging at night, proper hydration is definitely crucial to maintain function throughout the day and keeping yourself energized. And that's why proper functional hydration is essential. And who's going to give it to you? Liquid IV, because Liquid IV is the number one powered hydration brand in America. Their hydration multiplier is the one product you're missing in your daily routine. I like to use it first thing in the morning. I've been doing a lot of workouts here and there, so I pop it in my water bottle first thing in the morning. Gives me a little boost of energy of what I need. And sometimes during the day when I'm doing that like 2 o'clock rundown, I'll pop a little one. If not in the morning, it gives me a little bit of that energy that I need. With just one stick, you can hydrate real life 2 times faster than water alone, plus get essential vitamins and 3 times the electrolytes as the leading sports drink. And not only that, Liquid IV comes in 12 delicious, refreshing flavors to keep your hydration routine exciting.
Yeah, Anth. I mean, for me personally, like my day to day, I'll wake up and pop a liquid IV just to get my day started and start off with proper hydration. And then I am like required to be physically active between the hours of like 2 or 3 p.m. until 9, 10, 11, sometimes midnight if I'm doing a backup gig. So I'll do another one maybe around noon, 1 p.m., and that'll keep me going throughout the day. And I just feel so much better. I don't even drink coffee on the regular like that because I don't need to pick me up unless if I'm like really just not sleeping much. And then I'm like, all right, get me that. I don't like to rely on caffeine unless I absolutely feel like I need it. Liquid IV does the trick for me. I don't know about you.
Again, one stick with Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates you 2 times faster and more efficient than water alone. It contains 5 essential vitamins with 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drinks, and it's made with quality ingredients, non-GMO, and free of gluten, dairy, and soy.
Liquid IV believes that equitable access to clean and abundant water is the foundation of a healthier world. They partner with leading organizations to fund and foster innovative solutions that help communities protect both their water and their futures. To date, Liquid IV has donated over 39 million servings in 50 plus countries around the world.
Yeah, man. Real people, real flavor, real hydrating. Get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use our code 1SETPOD. That's 1SETPOD and at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code 1SETPOD at liquidiv.com. But yeah, sorry we had a little technical difficulty, but you were talking about the fact that, you've had so many people coming and thanking you and, giving you that extra to be like, this is what, even you didn't even really know how this was going to project to be what it was. You guys were just expecting just to be like, all right, just a couple of best friends and, doing a little bit of open mic. But from my perspective, I thought it was just a place for community, one,
Yeah.
for all musicians to just kind of gather around and be able to entertain like we do, and knowing that, I think I was still already before the pandemic doing live streaming at my gigs, so I wasn't too much of a I already knew how to really live stream, but I felt there were so many people out there that didn't know, so I was able to help others to be able to start really getting, better sounds and better, video footage and everything. So I was able to kind of help other people as well to be able to, do what they're doing now. Cause I knew there was a lot of people that first came on. They're like, what the hell am I doing? I'm just, putting
Yeah.
a phone up in front of me and playing. And there
Yeah.
were people playing for the first time too, that like there were
Yeah.
people that weren't even playing gigs. They're just playing for the first time. And
Yeah.
now they're playing gigs out because of the
Yep.
Delco
Yep.
Quarantine. It's
Yep.
awesome.
That was very cool. It was actually funny that you brought that up because it was very interesting to see the evolution of some people's live streaming setups. Like you could
Yeah,
tell like the first week, like, all right, everybody's just plugging into their phone. They're
yeah,
not, they're not going through like, they're not going through like a DI or like kind of like trying to get their sound dialed in a little bit better.
right.
Or going through like a mixing board. Like a lot of people, it was just like plug and play. And yeah, like you said, like
Yep.
a lot of people, I can name definitely a few people off the top of my head that started even playing guitar again. Like, Carl that does Delco After Dark. He
Yeah,
actually,
shout out to them.
yeah, him and Lisa Lerman, they started like
Yep.
a duo thing from, from Delco Quarantine Open Mic, and Carl actually said, he's a theater director. He works at the Media Theater.
At the Media Theater, yeah.
Yeah, and he said, dude, Delco Quarantine got me to pick my acoustic guitar up, and I haven't done that in years, So it was definitely cool for a lot of different people, and yeah, I mean, there was multiple groups that were formed because of Delco Quarantine. Like I met a bunch of people. Like I don't think I would have ever met you if it wasn't for Delco Quarantine. I don't think I would have met a lot of the people. So I built like friendships off of that, and that was like that's what like I valued the most out of it was like the kind of little musical commune that we created. Like it was our own little space. Like you were having a bad time, all right, I'm just gonna go play a set on Delco Quarantine, and it was the cool thing about that page, man. It was all love. There was like
Absolutely.
somebody was a beginner, all good. There'd be people saying, oh, maybe you should do this to make your live stream a little bit more clear. Or like it was all positive input, and it was all people just trying to help each other to get through a rough
That's
time.
what you want out of like a type of thing like that, because that's what music is all about, just bringing people together, and knowing that we had so many people in that page that were on so many different types of levels, and we showed people respect that, people knew, even me, and people were coming to me and saying like, oh, I'll never be on the same level as you. I'm like, am I on even a level? I don't even know what level I'm at. But I was actually, taken back by people thinking that, I was on a like this type of big thing. I'm like, I mean, hey, I have people that I am looking up to in this scene, and and I'm glad that I have people, and I hate to say that are like below me, but like because everybody has to start somewhere. I mean, I the same person looking at people playing music, and now I'm doing gigs here and there, and the biggest thing for me was when we did the first in-person Delco Quarantine Festival last year. That had to have been the most like euphoric, like because a lot of those people I had met for the first time in person. There were like you, I think we had met before the pandemic, maybe one or two times.
I think we actually have. I think we did cross paths a little bit before the pandemic.
It didn't really start like molding until the actual Delco Quarantine, and then meeting after that. Then it's like, oh, dude, it's like we knew each other for so much longer than that, and meeting everybody for the first time instead of like talking to them through a comment or talking to them through live streams. You're actually able to see them face to face. It was just like, it felt like family that you knew for many years, but you were meeting them for the first time. It was so cool.
Absolutely, man. The first festival, there's something about the first. The first is that's definitely going to be the challenge moving forward. Like we did it this year. Red Lantern, Bill Grossman, he let us use the space. We really were fortunate, to have a space this year, because with Aiden and our second kid this year, scheduling was a little bit difficult. And before Red Lantern, we actually had a campground that was set up that kind of, they backed out on us for personal reasons. So it was like a pivot move. But it was a great pivot move. I mean, we love Red Lantern, but yeah, like moving forward, like we definitely have aspirations of this being like a 2-day thing at a campground with like vendors. Like we want to make it very much like a festival and kind of move a little bit away from the 1-day event, because you're limited in what you can do for 1 day. There's only so much time in the day, and like then you have to make the hard decisions of, all right, like who, because the last few years we've had it as an open forum that like, all right, you sign up to be at the festival, and that is great. We kind of like that, but like if we want to grow this, we are going to have to get some serious headliners. We are going to have to like, pay some bands to like really get some more traction to grow it, and then like, you're going to have to do ticket sales and then save that money to grow it for next year. And then like, so it is definitely like a continual, it's going to take a little bit. But I think we have the right idea. I think we have the people that still want to be involved with it. And, I'm excited. We don't really know what we're gonna do for next year. We haven't really we haven't really sat down and talked about any of that. But we're definitely gonna keep it alive, and so we're thinking about maybe instead of a festival, maybe doing small like satellite like events throughout the year. Instead of like doing one a year, maybe we do like a Christmas jam, or like a fall, like a spring thing, but make them a little bit smaller. Make them a little bit smaller. So like, we don't really have a forum or really have a template of how we want to do it, but we know we want to keep it going, and we want to keep the connections, and we want to keep all the, we want to keep the live music going, because it's it's just so cool. Like I don't want to stop doing it ever, So
yeah, you can even have like, certain like themed nights, like artist nights, like everybody, plays like a certain artist, have like a Hendrix night, or I know everybody is a big what's the band everybody likes, why am I drawing a blank right now? Grateful Dead. Everybody's a big,
we do have a lot of deadheads on the
you can have like a big Grateful Dead, tribute show for people, and have like a Hendrix night, or John Mayer, or some other type of John Prine. I know, he's a local person that we really like around here, and so there's a lot of things you can do with those type
we're actually the place that we just moved in, I talked to Tara, we have a pretty decent backyard, so we might like even do a small like acoustic like listening room, like almost type of like singer songwriter thing, because I'm actually thinking of building like a platform out back of my house and running running electric, and like probably be a lot smaller, probably be like more of our closer friends, and we would handpick the we wouldn't open that to people that we wouldn't trust to come in our own home, but we could probably fit like 40-50 people, have like a full day of like, probably just have to be acoustic acts, because I do still have neighbors, but we kind of are thinking of having like just like a housewarming, like kind of like full 1-day festival type of thing, but just at our house, calling it maybe like Home Fest, or like we've been throwing names around just to like just different stuff, and I thought it would be cool to have it at our house, because then I could, we could have our other kids here. It'd be like more of a family. I would get the grill going. It would just be a hangout. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I got like a nice fire pit up back my house. So it'd be like campfire jams to end the night. And like I'm actually thinking about, so where I live up in Boyertown, there's this thing called Jake's. It's Jake's Flea Market, and twice a year they do this. Guitar weekend. So I'm thinking about doing it the weekend in the spring that is, because it could be like, all right, people come up, and then like during the morning, because that thing is, that flea market is from like 7 a.m. to like noon or like 1. It's an early thing. But dude, there's people in there. They got tube amps. They got thousands of pedals, vintage pedals, like
That's
vintage
sick.
guitars, and it's all in this big warehouse. And like I was thinking that would be cool to like coordinate that to make it like that weekend, so people like it's all music people that are coming up anyway. Go check that thing out. Then we come back. We
Mhm.
we rock out all day. We kind of just kind of hang out. I thought that would be a cool like kind of parlay to like having like a little like event at our house. So yeah, it's just things me and Tower. We're always we're always trying to think of ways to like spice things up or just
Mhm.
just keep the connection going. So yeah, man, that's that's where we're kind of at with Delco. We had a good year this year at the Red Lantern. We had some different bands this year. It was a lot smaller, but it's good turnout, and we're really happy with where everything's going. And yeah, we're just still excited that people are still interested in the group. People are out playing now, and we still
Yeah.
get a little bit of traction. And I love that bands and like people promote their shows and promote their bands and promote their
Yeah.
like original music on the page. Like it's still a cool, pretty active outlet. And but yeah, those first few months, man, there was something magical about that.
Oh, yeah.
It was,
Yeah,
it
I'll
was
tell
so-
that to everybody, anybody, anytime, and talk about that stuff because it's
yeah.
like I said, it's just like a whole community thing that just happened at that time. It definitely got everybody through those like rough couple months, the first
Yeah.
couple months, and it was just an awesome thing to
There
kind of
was
just
there was like a
uh,
lot of cool
part of.
music that was written in that time. Like that was the thing that I like
Oh hell
was
yeah,
was thinking. I was like, dude, everybody's just sitting at their house writing music right now. Like
Mhm.
especially like original artists, or and then like after the pandemic, like the dust settled, like I saw a lot of people that were putting out this music, and I was like thinking, I was like, dude, they were probably doing it during like in between their sets on Delco Quarantine, or like
Mhm.
and so yeah, that was just just things that go through my head, like of like how I think me and Tara sometimes, and like everybody was involved. Me, Tara, Zach, Mark. I don't want to let anybody out.
Right.
But sometimes we don't really understand the magnitude of like what we really did. It was like, yeah, it was pretty special. And I don't know if I'll ever be a part of something that special again and that big, but that was pretty cool.
Yeah, man. And if we can pivot into this, the fact that during the pandemic, you know my wife at the time was pregnant, and you guys had announced, I believe, that you guys were having your first child, right? If I'm correct.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
during
because
the pandemic, we both basically became fathers
fathers.
around the same
Yeah,
time.
because when's your son's birthday?
August 2nd.
Yeah, because Luna, yeah, you're at the end of the summer. Luna
Yeah.
was in the spring. So yeah, it's just months apart. Yeah, she's March. So
And she's
yeah,
3 right now, right? Or
no, she will be turning 3 in March.
okay.
So your son just turned 3, right?
Yeah, so yeah, it's
Yep.
a couple. So he's got a couple months on her, but yeah,
Yep. Yeah, and then Aiden, yeah, our son Aiden, he
he
just
just
turned
one, right?
turned 1 in September.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
So
you guys got one of each, and so
yeah,
we'll be
we're.
having another boy in January. So
Oh, you are.
yeah,
I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah,
Congrats,
I'm gonna be
dude.
we're gonna be having another boy in January. So we're coming up. We are 29 weeks right now, and this Saturday will be 30. So it's crunch time.
Third trimester's here, bro.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, it's just double the work, double the diapers, double the sorry everybody listening, this is the dad portion of the show right now.
This is the dad portion. All our dads who are watching, this is for you right now,
yeah,
man.
like I think the biggest thing of going from 1 to 2 is like you don't get that time of like, here, you take the kid, I need a break, or here, you take, it's like it's man on man now, man on man defense. It's and I always say, once it's not man on man and you're playing zone, you're kind of screwed.
Yep.
So
it's all things are off the table at that point.
yeah. So like, yeah, the thing, I know Tara will have a totally different outlook than I do, because I go, she stays home with the kids and I kind
Mhm.
of go to work, just financially, like going to
Yep.
daycare is just insane for us. It just didn't work for our family situation. So like, so yeah, like I get to go to work, come home, and then I play the dad role, and she's the full-time mom. So it's yeah, I couldn't do what she does. She does, she does a lot. She's definitely the rock of the family. And
Oh yeah. Oh
there's
yeah.
like
My
I
wife's the
feel
same
like
way.
I feel
You
like
got
her
to shout out to the moms.
yeah, oh, shout out to mom. Like I feel like our lives changed so much.
Oh
My life has changed, but like I still do a lot. I still go out, I still go out and play gigs. I still,
yeah.
because I am the one that works and does, like,
Mhm.
financially, um, brings the money home, but she works
Yeah.
10 times harder than me.
Oh
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like there is
Same
no,
thing. She like I said, I'm going out gigging. I'll have my times where I'm going out fishing and, doing the podcast here, doing my music.
yeah.
And, she'll go to work and, we're just lucky and blessed that our son, my wife works at a daycare, so we can bring
Oh,
our son to the daycare.
very
And
nice.
that we'll be able to bring our next son to the same thing. So they'll both be in daycare, and we're just blessed that they can be able to do that for us. And but like I said, when she comes home, it's mom mode. But then sometimes she'll see him at daycare, so it's like she's mom 24/7.
Yeah,
It's like
man,
you have
they get burnt out too.
yeah
They're like, yeah, there's definitely nights I come home and she's just like, see you later, I'm taking a 2-hour bath.
yeah.
So
That's kind of how the
can't,
point she is right now. It's just like she'll just come home from work. She's like, I just need a 1 hour nap of nobody talking to me and just
yep,
leave me alone for an hour.
yep.
And we'll put him to bed. And then she's like, I don't know what you're doing, but I am done for the night. See you. Good night. So
Yeah. Dude, parenting is
I get it.
It's the most draining job. Like I've actually cut back on a lot of gigs, and that's why that's why I am like, I know we talked before, we started the show, but like
Yeah.
I am, we just moved into a new place, and we are setting up a studio in my basement, and
Mhm.
my plan's really probably to cut back gigs, like back 80%. Like I'm kind of in a space now that, I'm a dad of two.
Yeah.
I want to, like, I have a different outlook on my music now. Like my music now is like, I want to teach them, what music brings so much, like the instruments that have brought me so much joy. And I want to, like, I have a lot of songs that I need to get out there. So like,
Yeah.
I want to, like how you're doing this podcasting to get your video production skills up. Like I want to just dive into recording, and just, that's a whole different world that I've never like been in. Like I have a very good grasp on, like, live sound, live
Yeah.
performance,
Hmm.
my pedal board, live looping. Like
Yes.
I have a very good grasp of that. I don't have a really good grasp of the other side of the recording side of it, and that's something that I want to get into. Give my buddy a shout out, the Jam Aquarium, Andy, my buddy Andy from 314. He just started. I think think last year. He started this thing, the Jam Aquarium. It's just like a little studio in his house, but it's more of like a live video. So he'll, like,
Mm.
you'll play a song, right? He's putting you all through his doll or whatnot, and
Yeah.
but then he's doing live videos. So he's like doing, it's an actual, like, music video. Like he'll slow it up. He does, like, some trippy
Oh,
stuff
awesome.
with it. Like he's, like, working on his video production as well. And like when he started doing that, he did that. Like I've always had the itch to kind of get into, recording. Um, and I've actually had, like I said, I have my PreSonus um,
Hmm.
headphones. Like I bought a Studio One, like, bundle package probably like
Yeah.
2 years ago, and I just never, like, never got to it. It's literally, these things have dust on them, and I'm just getting around. Like, yeah, I just got the space now. I'm gonna be getting a desktop very soon, and yeah, I'm really excited to kind of, like, to dive in that whole world, but I am going to be scaling back on my gigs, which is fine. You know, those relationships and those gigs will always be there. You can always go out and gig,
Absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely. I'll
So,
definitely give you some tips because I've been really the last 2 singles that I've been putting out. I did all on my own. I did the recording, I did the mixing and the mastering, and I've been taking a lot of time to really focus in on how to, you know, because I've been in the studio many times with my older bands and stuff, so I kind of know a little bit of the recording process.
yeah,
But the mixing and the mastering is really where the thick of everything is, and
yeah,
being able to know how to really understand EQ and compression, and you know, learning the whole process of mixing has been a second portal into being a music producer. So
yeah,
this I did so much upgrades with my studio, being able to get a better desk, and you know, being able to learn more with Logic, because like you, I had an interface and Pro Tools when it was back in 2012, and it was just collecting dust, and I just got out of my band, and I was like, I always wanted to put out some acoustic stuff, but I don't want to
yeah,
go spending hundreds of dollars at a studio. So I'm like, I have an interface,
yeah,
I have a microphone, I have a computer. Let me just dab in and see how to do this. And
yeah,
I'll tell you right now, that stuff sucked.
yeah,
I had
yeah.
no clue what I was doing, but it
What
just
kind of
got.
DAW do you run through now? If you mind
I
me
am running
asking.
through. Yeah, I'm running through Logic Pro.
Oh, okay.
So I
Very
started
nice.
on GarageBand. I started on Pro Tools because I had like a little small like subscription with the interface
Yeah.
that I had, and then I started when I got back into it, and in a serious note, back in like 2018, 19, before the pandemic, I started
Yeah.
running GarageBand, and
Okay.
then
Yeah, that's everybody. That's like the generic one. Yeah. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
and then
That's
once
actually for being free. It's actually not horrible.
it's
Like
really not.
yeah,
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 you can
yeah,
definitely do a lot with GarageBand, and then I wanted to upgrade, so then I upgraded to Logic Pro, and I've been just using that ever since. And it's just because I figured it's just a one purchase thing. It's not like Pro Tools where it's a subscription every year, and you have to keep subscribing and
yeah,
doing this every year. So, and no knocks to Pro Tools. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I think it's really on how comfortable you feel in your DAW. If some people love Pro Tools for being comfortable, I like Logic Pro because it's pretty. The interface is just simple, plain and
yeah,
simple. What you need to do,
yeah.
and you know, I think with everybody's always today like, oh, I got to get the best plugins, the best hardware, and everything. You know,
Yeah.
just starting out and learning the stock plugins they have and knowing how those really work, and like it's best to just do that before you put in tons of money, because that is uh the money thing that you're going to get into at the point too, is you're going to be buying so many plugins like, oh, this looks pretty cool, I want to try this and put
Yeah.
this with like the recording and see what this does and that does. And you know, but there are a couple cool subscriptions, and I'll tell you off air a couple things that I have that really
Definitely.
took my things to a new level. And I had just also, and I talked about this on the pod a couple times, I just bought and made my own vocal booth, DIY vocal booth to
Oh,
record vocals
nice. So
now.
you got like a
So
phone booth, kind of isolated booth and stuff like
yeah,
that.
so I bought some PVC pipe. I actually have a little bit of it here, just a couple long PVC pipes, made a whole cutout, and then got some moving blankets and put it all over, so it's all like a sound resonant proof type of booth in there. And the song that I'm going to be releasing for you guys on episode 100 here was all the vocals were recorded in that booth. And you know, for the average person it might not be much of a difference, but for a music person that might
Oh yeah, yeah.
you notice a
You're
little
hearing every
yeah,
little different detail. Yeah, yeah.
I
The
can
doll that
tell
I have, and I know nothing about it, man. When I'm telling you it's still in the box, it's still in the box. like
I mean,
so
like I said, I'm not
it's
an expert, but I can give you some, you know, tips and tricks and
yeah.
stuff
No,
that I wish I would have learned when I was starting out. I can definitely help you out and get you some good starting
definitely. I
stuff.
appreciate that, man. Like, yeah, that's you know, what goes around comes around. I definitely believe in that. And So yeah, it's Studio One Pro, I believe, or it's Studio One. Don't
Yeah.
really, I've talked to a few of my friends. They said, dude, that's all you need. They said it's a little
Yeah.
bit, it's user friendly.
Uh-huh.
I'm not really, I haven't really dove into it. I've looked at tutorials and like before I bought it, I did a lot of like YouTube homework on it and like
I was gonna say YouTube is your best friend.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just go into a lot of rabbit holes on YouTube, how to like start a session, how to do everything. Because I mean,
Yeah, and
every DAW kind of is the same, but they have their own little nuances.
yeah,
But they
and like
all have a lot of similarities.
and for like acoustic, like I have like a condenser mic. I have
Yeah,
pretty much everything I need for what I will be doing, which will be like, you know, a rhythm guitar, a lead guitar, a few guitar layers,
yeah,
and then I do have a really cool cab and guitar sim pedal, a Strymon. I have a Strymon. What's it called? One of their cab sim pedals. But like, so if I want to throw electric guitar in there, I can get
yeah.
one of the cool plugins that's on that program. And so yeah, like I think I know what I need. I just need to like go and do it and like trial and error type of stuff. So yeah, I think I'm pretty well geared up. I have to get a desktop. I would be running through my laptop right now, which wouldn't be the worst, but I do want to get a desktop. But yeah, I'm super excited to kind of dive into that because I do think I'm gonna back off on gigs for a little bit. It's just the time of my life that I'm at right now. I don't know, I'm not 20 anymore. I'm not like I like being at the bars, but if I'm not like playing or going to see music, I'm not really a bar goer too much anymore.
Right.
I
Yeah.
enjoy like after work going to like one of the local bars around my house and like watching a Phillies game, having a beer and a sandwich, and then boogieing. That's it's just different. I like playing gigs 5 to 8 p.m. now. I don't remember the last like 9 to midnight gig that I've played. So
Yeah, I had one of those within the last few months, and I was like, "Woo, this is this is not looking good." I mean, if this was like maybe 5-10 years ago, I'd have been like, "Yeah, this is totally fine." But after having a kid, like, what am I doing out here at 1:00 in the morning? Like,
yeah, right.
I'm not gonna get some sleep because he's gonna be up.
you're getting out at like 1 a.m. You're not getting home depending where the gig is until like 1:32. So yeah, no, it's interesting how as you grow, things change and your priorities change. So yeah, no, that's probably what I got to say about that. It's different strokes for different folks, man. It's all relative, and for me, as long as like I still have that creative juice, like that's why like I'm probably pulling back on gigs because I feel like I need to sit and write, and I need to like almost like how like bands like go and write an album and then they go tour that album. Like I need to get in the studio. I need to get like I'm in a really good like original space right now. I have been for the last few years, probably a little bit after the pandemic, because I haven't really been in a groove with like acoustic or live shows. Like before the pandemic, I used to host an open mic at 2312 on Garrett, which RIP, they sold the place. Which is another weird thing, like getting older, like looking at all these bars and venues that I used to play at that like gone, like hair salons now and crap like that. But yeah, like back before kids, back before the pandemic, he was like I would do a weekly open mic. I would play like 2 to 3 gigs a week. And like now, I don't sing as much. I don't play as much. Like when I was playing and singing, like, man, I could go and sing a 3-hour show, come home, take a nap, and go do it again. Now, like, I teach guitar lessons at a music store called the Crossroads. It's a music store up by me. Very cool shop.
Oh, you got into that. It's cool, man.
Yeah. I started. I teach like 6 lessons a week. It's very cool. it's a really cool shop. It's like the guy that owns it is like a Breedlove like dealer, so he has a lot of Breedlove guitars in there. He has his own brand of his grandson's name is Bodhi, so he made this, and his wife is from like Indonesia, and so he made this guitar called the Bodhi guitar, and it's a line of actual not just guitars. He has like congos, and he has like a lot of like Middle Eastern instruments, like very cool, very cool kind of shop, and very cool guy. So they just opened like about 2 months ago, and I literally walked in the first day, didn't know it. I saw them redoing the place because I drove by it every day, and then the one day I saw an open sign. I was like, all right, let's see what this place is. Brand new. Went in there. I was their first customer. I was like, hey, you guys need a guitar teacher? I'm like, I live right down the street. I would like to like, maybe make a little extra cash, and
Right.
then I get like, I also get like discounts and stuff. And he actually he just gave me a discounted guitar that was pretty expensive, and he's only giving it to me for a few $100s. So that's another good perk of working there. So really cool. It's called a FEMA or FEMA. What I can't pronounce it. Maybe I'll go grab it in a little bit. But it actually has built-in effects in it. So it has like a little bit of reverb, a little bit of a delay, and it's
that's cool.
You don't even have to plug in. It's straight in the guitar. So you could sit on your couch and like have a nice little like kind of ambiance, to your playing, which is pretty sweet. So
I think
kind of went off the rails there a little bit.
Like a little like pack thing you put on your guitar, right? Something like that.
Well, there is the thing called the what is that? There are those units. I
forget the name of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tone wood amp. There's tone.
There you go. Yeah.
I actually have one of those, but like I don't know. After a month, I think it broke. Something happened with it. And yeah, I had one of those, and I played with that for like just on my couch. I would never use that in like a live music setting or situation. It'd probably be a little awkward, but I had that thing. I was like, man, this is really cool. Like just sitting on the couch, like it just gave me a little bit more inspiration than playing dry on an acoustic. And and he had this this guitar. Never saw like this brand before. I'll send it to you probably when we're offline. I call it FEMA. I think it's called FEMA. FEMA, I believe. Never heard of them, but it had like a rose inlay on like the 12th fret. Had a rose inlay on the headstock. I was like, man, this is really cool. And he was like, oh, that's one of my babies. But like, he's like, I'll sell it to you. He's like a salesman, He's like, I'll sell anything. And I was like, all right. I was like, can you just take a little bit off of my pay and then just give it to me? So yeah, man, it's just, definitely in a different time. Like, I never thought I'd be, teaching guitar lessons like at a guitar shop. I always did online. I taught guitar lessons online for a little bit, but yeah, it's a really cool thing. They're actually having Paul Simon, his bass player that played on Graceland, is actually coming to the guitar shop and doing a live session. He's going to be teaching some bass lessons, and he's going to do like a little concert / jam. So like in this guitar shop, it's called the Crossroads. It's strictly it's like an art and guitar shop. So they only have acoustic guitars. They don't have electric guitars. They have acoustic amps. They have like the big like Bose like acoustic towers and stuff like that. But then they have like an art section where they have an art gallery where they rotate like artists, and you can come in and buy their artwork. So like every month there'll be a different featured artist.
Cool.
That artwork is in there. And then in the back he has like 3 lesson rooms. So like me and the guy Evan, he has a lesson room, I have a lesson room, and then there's like a live stage. And dude, he put so much money into this place. He has like cameras all over the place and screens. So eventually when they start getting like live performances, he can like stream it. He can like streamline it right to like his board, and there's like multiple TVs in the actual like live performance area. So There's couches in there. It's very like homey, like how he made it. It's like very, very cool. I'll definitely send you some pictures, or if you're ever up in the area, I'd definitely like to give you a tour and like walk you around the place. But
sounds like a cool place. I would definitely want to be able to come there and hang out. It seems like, I mean, I can go wild in a guitar, anything. Guitar.
Yeah.
I can spend hours.
Yeah, and he actually has his own guitar pedal line. So like he's a rep. So he's like a rep. He's a sales rep for like a distributor. So he like distributes amps, pedals. He has his own pedal company called Outlaw Pedals.
Awesome.
Well, it's like beginner pedals. It's not like upper echelon like a Strymon or anything like that, or like. But they're good. They're good pedals for like beginners. And man, he has like a basement full of stuff. I'm like, dude, if you bring me down there, I won't have a bank account.
Yeah, I believe you.
I'm like, come on, man.
It's like kryptonite. You can spend a lot of money with so many effects and stuff. And I was never like a pedal guy at first because you know me, I do a lot of the live looping stuff, and I was never a pedal person. I was always like, go straight into the amp. All you need is the sound of the amp and the tubes and everything. That's all you need. You don't need these distortion pedals and effect pedals and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Where I am today, I'm having a loop pedal, an amp simulator, an octave pedal, and all this, and I'm like, well, I totally went against whatever I was saying to my younger self, and I'm like, it's so fun to kind of experiment with a bunch of different sounds now, and I think it's just like more of me as I gotten older and really have been able to experiment as a guitar player to be able to like learn different sounds and how to really express yourself through those different sounds as a guitar player.
No, absolutely. I didn't get pedals until the pandemic. I think I think it was my first sorry. I gotta grab my charger. I'm getting a little low on battery.
All good.
So my first pedal was like a little like Boss RC5, I think. I still have that. It's got like drum tracks on it. It's cool. It's got an expression pedal, so it's like, so you don't have to double tap to stop. You can just have an expression to kind of stop and start it, which I really like. Sorry, I'm gonna have to take this off. So yeah, that like the pandemic was like kind of how I got into pedals. I like start my first pedal board. I made out of a pallet, a wood pallet. I kind of cut it on an angle. I sanded it all down. I put Velcro on it. I put a power supply underneath, and I started with like a loop pedal and a delay pedal and like a reverb pedal. And now I have a whole like, I have a gate. You know the Gator, the Gator like mic stands and stuff like that, and
yeah.
So Gator actually has they create pedal boards as well, and I have this pedal board that's really cool. It's like one of the case ones now that you clip and you can kind of like unlatch it, but it has a guitar stand, a 3 guitar stand built into it, and then.
I've seen them before. It's pretty cool.
Saw it last year, and it was around Christmas time, and I was like, Tara.
It's crazy with gear how like it's gotten so, you know, like convenient and compact to be like just saying like with now it comes with like a little mic stand and like you don't have to buy it, and it's just so
like the
crazy
one,
with gear.
That I have, like it's unfortunate my power supply doesn't fit in there, but it has a built-in space for your power supply that you can like screw in, but it's obviously they want you to use the Gator stuff, and of
course,
and I got some high powered missiles over here, so I need like 350 MA, you know what I mean, or whatever the I just need a little bit more power, so mine didn't fit in there, but it's all good. You know, my next purchase, I think I'm gonna get a wah pedal. I've been itching for a wah pedal for a while. So like on my board, since we're going down the rabbit hole, might as well go down fully the rabbit hole. So right now, I have all right, we're gonna go down to the dungeon. Are you fine with that?
let's go for it, man.
Let's go.
Let's dig into this.
So I'm gonna go.
I've been able to witness your one pedal board, but I know you got a lot of stuff down there, so we can definitely take a few to kind of
take a few minutes. Don't
what-
want to get totally off track. I know this is kind of free form, but hey,
Yeah, man.
this is what you get when you ask me 24 hours in advance to be on your show. You know.
Hey, I mean, it's all holds bar when it comes to musicians and everything. You know, we all want to share our gear and everything.
So right now, this is kind of what I'm working with.
Uh-huh.
I got a Boss acoustic preamp right here. Okay, so that my tuner's here.
Yeah.
So I go into this, go into my preamp, and then I go into my loop pedal.
Right.
I do everything. My loop pedal goes in before all my before it hits any of my pedals. So that I do that. You probably know this. So
Yep.
I can loop, and I can put an effect on, but it won't affect the loop.
Yeah.
So, well, like if I put distortion on, the loop that's going through will not be a
It's going to be
distorted.
a clean signal, right?
Yeah. So then I like JHS. I'm a very big fan of JHS pedals.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are 3 series. So I have the reverb and delay. Toggle switch on the delay goes from analog to digital, which is cool.
Very nice.
Reverb goes from a pre-delay to just a normal reverb.
Uh-huh.
This is one of my newer ones. I actually really like this. I more or less use this when I'm playing electric, but this is a Keeley pedal. It's a compressor and it's a distortion, and it's got a high-low setting. So you can, if you want to do more of just like a kind of like an overdriven sound, you can go to the low setting. Or if you want to kind of kick it in high gain, you could do that. Obviously, I got a Phase 90, which I really love. I love that thing. You're probably very familiar with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have an envelope filter if I want to get a little funky. I like to. I'm a very big Jerry Garcia fan, so always liked how he used. And I'm a big 311 fan. I love Tim.
Oh yeah, the 311 was a big fan for me.
Yeah, he was a big. Tim Mahoney, yeah, his name, the lead guitar player. He was a huge Deadhead, and like on their one song Amber,
Yeah,
right, intro lick, like that's like straight envelope filter, and like even like on like some Dead songs like Shakedown Street, like that's all envelope filter. And like those songs, when I heard those, I was like, man, what is that? I thought it was a wah pedal, but it was almost like a vocal, like it was like a vocal wah pedal that like.
Yeah.
The cool thing about envelope filters, the difference I think between them and wah pedals is like envelope filters is like on your attack. So how hard you attack is how open the filter will actually come. Or it's like a wah pedal, it's all on like, it's on your attack, but it's all obviously on like your foot motion and how you kind of open and close that wah as well.
Right.
And then this is this one right here. That's my power supply. Thing's huge. This is where it's supposed to fit in. Oh, sorry. This is where it's supposed to fit, this little outcut. But it's right there. And right there, those 3 guitars are. That's the stand. That's the top of it. So that actually, those things fold down, and then you can put it on. Yeah, you put it on top of this. So, sorry. Start talking about pedals. I had to run down here real quick.
And I've been in such like a ambient type of tone feel lately. So like that type of envelope and like shimmer type of effect and like chorus and phaser type of things. Like I'm such a big fan of like the Jimi Hendrix like unified pedal was something that really always like really defined Jimmy's sound too, and that's something that and my dad has not one of the original unified pedals, but he has like a unified pedal, and I every time like I'm usually trying to be like, hey, can I borrow that real quick? He's like, no, you absolutely can't.
That's cool. That's cool. Your dad plays guitar?
Oh yeah, he was the one that actually taught me everything. Like he's the one that
That's so
he
cool.
got me on the Beatles, he got me on Hendrix, and
Is that what kind of music is he in? Is he like a blues type of
oh
guy? Is
yeah,
he
like
like
blues, classic rock. So I got to give it.
very
I always
nice?
shout him out to the guy that really got me into playing guitar, put a guitar in my hand from a very early age, and he didn't really force it on me, but it was more like it just kind of found me, and then he's just kind of been like, because he like kind of tried to do the band thing back then, but he never could find committed musicians to really work with and really bond with. So I think for him seeing me in this type of stuff, he's like, it's cool that he's actually doing something to with music and kind of just doing it as a fun thing, and also trying to now throw some money in with it too.
That's so cool. Yeah, no, that's a cool thing having your family in music. I mean, that's I hope, like you said, like your dad, I'm not gonna force my kids into doing it, but it's gonna be in their face every day.
Oh, yeah. My son has no,
You know?
and I bought an electronic drum kit for my studio as well. My son loves the electronic drum kit, and I never taught him anything of how to play drums. The first time he took the sticks and just started doing the cymbals, and I'm like, it's nuts. Like he just knew what to hit and how to. And now every time he gets the sticks, he'll just click them together. He'll be like 1, 2, 3, and then start going like that. It cracks.
Oh man,
It cracks me up every time.
might have to get him drum lessons soon, dude.
Thank God we have electronic drum kits, because I think my wife would kill me if we had to get a real acoustic drum kit.
If you had an acoustic set, yeah.
So yeah, thank
Yeah.
God there are electronic drum kits these days. But yeah, he loves. He definitely has a music ear, I feel. So it'll be fun to kind of see like if it kind of really takes him into actually like playing music later down the road. But I could definitely tell he has like a good ear for music. Like he loves, when he's watching his shows, he loves theme songs, and he
That's cool.
remembers theme songs. So I know he has some type of music in him. So it'll be cool to kind of see how it goes.
If it clicks, it'll click. You know how it was.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like you learn music and then you hit that spot where you really get to connect with it, and you're like, all right, this is what I want to do this is my hobby for now. This is what I want to do, or take it super serious. So no, that's super cool. I actually one of my good friends bought a ukulele for Luna, but it was the Luna brand.
Yeah.
There's Luna ukuleles, and it was just a cute little thing. And now whenever I'm playing my guitar, she's like, "Daddy, I gotta get my guitar." I should go get a guitar, take it out of the case. It's like one of those little backpack cases.
Yeah.
And she's like a small little petite girl, and literally the ukulele is like hitting the ground as she's walking. They're so big. But yeah, she pulls it out all the time.
That's awesome.
I think she's I think she'll definitely be in music. But you never know. I mean, she might be not music. She might be in art or something.
Yeah.
She's a good drawer. Tara's an artist, so she's definitely been she likes to draw a lot, and she's actually for how young she is, she's actually doing really well with it.
That's
so
great.
I think some kind of art or creative outlet will definitely be in her future.
Yeah.
Just don't know.
Definitely for sure.
Yeah, anything. She doesn't have to do exactly what I do. I don't want her to. I want her to figure out her own individuality and figure out her own voice musically or artistically. So I just think it's healthy. I think it should be, honestly, in schools, I think it should be you should learn, at least you should at least go and take a music class, or you should at least some kind of music.
I agree.
Structure should be almost mandatory, because I don't know, just from my perspective, music has done so much for my life, and even my mental health. Whenever I'm having a bad day, man, go plug in. And,
oh yeah.
crank on a distortion pedal or something, and it's like, dude, you just walk out of there like a different
I
person.
can't tell you how many times, like I said, I've had like a bad day, and like even when I was younger, having a bad day, closing my door, turning on my favorite record, and just turning on my amp, and just not even caring about what I'm playing, but just wailing on it and just letting
Yeah,
everything come out of me, and then I come out of there like, like that was
yeah. It's therapy.
yeah,
Absolutely. Sometimes you do like, cause like my style play is more of a melodic ambient playing.
yeah.
Like, dude, there's days that I'm like, F this. I just need the hottest tone I can get right
Mhm.
now, and I just need to rip for like 20 minutes, and then I go back and I'm like, all right, I'm cool, I'm good, you
There's
know.
times like you really wish you had recorded some of that stuff, because some of the best stuff
Uh,
comes out of that type of like
yeah,
nonchalant. You're not even thinking about what you're playing, and then you hit something. You're like, oh wait a minute, what did I just actually do that?
yeah, yeah. No, I think like I even put a post about this the other day. I think like you said, like, oh man, I wish I would have hit record. Like, I think I've built up the wisdom of knowing when that kind of creative valve is open.
Yeah.
Like you said, like for me, when I feel that magic starting to happen, or I make like a riff or like a tagline or like some kind of cool like chord progression, like automatically I know myself. If I leave that moment in time, if I put that guitar down for 10 minutes and come back, it is probably not going to be the same. I'm not going to have the same energy. I'm not going to be in the same mindset. So like I'm pretty good now at like catching when I'm like, all right, this is something. I hit record all the time. I mean, I have like thousands of just riffs or
Mhm.
ideas
I learned
or
the
just
hard
like
way of
things.
doing that too, man.
Yeah. So like, there's been multiple times, like especially like early in songwriting. I'm not totally great at it, but I have had my moments that I'm like, dang, that was pretty sweet, or
Mhm.
that was like, some of my songs I'm definitely very proud of, and yeah, it's just yeah, man, it's super cool stuff. I wish everybody could feel the magic of music or art.
Yeah, man. It's something that, you know, us musicians, we all kind of have that same ability to bring a sense of feeling to people, but knowing that when you have people like, oh, I wish I had a musical talent, like you wish anyone could. But let's just wrap this up here. Once again, John, thank you so much for tuning in with me tonight. It's been a pleasure talking with you again. Let's do this more often, dude. And I just wanted to say thank you all for being here again. There's been another episode of One Set. And follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Follow us here and subscribe on YouTube. We're here every Friday, and we will see you all next week on another episode of One Set. Thank you guys.
Peace. Thanks, Ant. See you guys later.
Thank you guys.